Thanks for staying with us. So the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, commenced the implementation of Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. That's the CAMA 2020. According to reports, the Commission had also launched a new self-service portal that allows for end-to-end electronic submission by customers. Joining us on the show is the Registrar-General of the Corporate Affairs Commission. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yes, always good to have you on the show. So, tell us about this new portal, because, I mean, many of us are so used to calling a lawyer to sort out CAC. I mean, I still recently called one lawyer to sort it out for me. But tell us how easy it is to go to the portal and use for registration.
Thank you so much. If you recall, we had alluded to this during some of our interactions last year.
Yes.
The new portal is an end-to-end electronic system that allows any of our customers, whether accredited customers like lawyers, accountants, or chartered secretaries, or any member of the public from anywhere in the world to transact with CAC without having to visit CAC physically. We have two interfaces. The first one has to do with accredited customers. The second interface is for public users. So as a member of the public that wants to register his business or association, you can create an account on the portal using the public user interface. With that account, you'll be able to register your company, business name, or incorporated trustee. You can do it directly. But if you choose to go through a lawyer, an accountant, or chartered secretary, the lawyer will use his own electronic account to do this filing on your behalf. And the new system has also come with a post-incorporation model. In the past, all post-incorporation filings were manually done. You either send it by courier or you email the documents, we process and send you the certified true copies to a courier company. Everything is now electronically available. So we have the pre-incorporation interface and we have the post-incorporation interface. So as an accredited customer, using your electronic account, because what we have done, all existing accounts created by accredited automatically move to the new system. So all they need to do is to log in using their existing login access. Then they can do their transactions, whether post or pre-incorporation. But what we are trying to do is we've given them a window of 3 months to revalidate their accreditation, because we're aware that some of the account holders have died. Some of the accounts are being shared with other people, because there is a personal responsibility now for every filing made by an accredited customer. If there is any misstatement or wrong information submitted, he takes responsibility. So for public users, any company can create its own electronic account. The company has the liberty to introduce any of its officers or anybody, even from outside the company, to make filings on its behalf, and any filing coming through that medium. So if you are the owner of a company, and with the new law, you can have a one-man company. So you can be the sole owner of that company. So you can apply to create an electronic account. You can register your company directly, but we have divorced the account used for the registration from the account used for post-incorporation, because this is necessary for public users. We are aware that sometimes, particularly where you have multiple owners or multiple directors, without their authority after the incorporation, you need their authority after registration for any filing to be made. So a second account has to be created after the company is registered that will enable the account holder to make filings on behalf of that company. And if you are doing your filings directly, you are not paying any professional fee to anybody. You file your annual returns, you can change your information, your address, your directors, you can increase your share capital and allot your shares. So you can do it directly without having to go through an accredited customer. So these are the two interfaces, and what we are doing is consistent with what the new law has provided, because the new law, unlike the repealed act that required you to get to a declaration before a company is registered, under the new law, you have the option as the owner or as a director to just do a simple statement of compliance that you have gone through the documents and you believe you have complied with the requirements of the law. That statement doesn't even have to be under oath. So with that statement, CAC will rely on the strength of that statement. CAC will register the company. So the additional burden of having to engage a lawyer to register is now optional. Yes. Okay. So this is actually what the new portal is all about.
Right.
In view of the new 3 months ultimatum given to accreditors, I mean, for people to go and validate their accreditation, do you have any plans to help? Because what I notice in practice is that most people don't remember that their annual returns are annual. They sort of leave it lying, or they start a company, they start to use the business name until for a long time they don't remember that their annual returns ought to be paid annually. Do you have any plans to give them, some form of mercy to allow people pay at a discount? Because revenue generating also is important for the CAC. Do you have plans to, to give out?
Can I just add a similar question? Let me just
Thank you so much. Yes, we're actually considering an amnesty, but it will not be a total amnesty.
Okay.
We are reviewing the records. With the new system, it's possible to know whether a company is active or is dormant. So any company that has filed its annual returns up to date, we classify it as active. If you have not been filing returns, your status is inactive. So I don't see anybody agreeing to deal with you if CAC classifies you as inactive. And if you go to our portal, you can see information about every company, the name, the address, and its status and the date of registration. So the status will show you either active or inactive. We have outstanding annual returns. We're actually considering an amnesty, maybe depending on the number of years outstanding. There are suggestions that maybe we waive 1/3 of what is outstanding. Some are saying, no, let them file for the last 3 years. We have not taken a final position on this. But with the new system, it's now possible for companies to know, because we don't have to wait for them to come and file their returns. We are going to put the financial year end of every company on the register, such that before the end of the financial year, we will send you a reminder that your annual returns will be due in about 3 months' time. That is maybe 3 months after your annual general meeting. So if you do not file after that time, we'll send you a reminder. If you fail to file, then maybe we classify your company as inactive. And other stakeholders that are dealing with you, your business partners, even your international clients may not agree to deal with you if you are classified as inactive. So this is the way to go. This is actually the way to enforce this. But as you have said, we're actually considering this amnesty. A final decision has not been made, and we'll announce it to the public before the end of March, hopefully, on our position on amnesty.
Let's go
because we're also interested in getting people to update their information with CAC. And for some that have accumulated backlog, the financial burden is quite huge.
Yes.
So we have a responsibility to make it easier for companies to actually comply with it.
Right. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the Registrar-General of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Garba Abubakar. Sir, are you still there?
Yes, good morning again.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, just talking about financial implications. Usually when before the self-service portal, you would pay either your lawyer to do this for you. So I'm wondering, when you are doing it yourself, those fees, are they still applicable, or what are the fees applicable now that you have to do it on your own?
Okay, thank you. If you are registering a company with 1 million share capital, the fee has even come down, because unlike before where you had to pay for certified true copies of documents, we have dispensed with payment for certified true copies for new registration services. So you are paying CAC 10,000 naira as registration fee for 1 million share capital. And because you are required to pay stamp duty on the share capital, as well as for the certification of your memorandum, for stamping of your memorandum and article of association. So the fee for stamp duty is about 8,000 naira. So all in all, for a company with 1 million share capital, we are paying about not more than 18,000 naira to both CAC and FIRS. And our two systems have been integrated, so you don't need to leave the CAC portal to go and pay stamp duty. Using the same interface, after paying CAC fee, it will take you to stamp duty. You pay stamp duty. The documents will be stamped electronically on the same interface. And after the stamping, in a matter of seconds, you now proceed to complete your registration. That is how the system works. Right. So for new registration services of a company, either a one-man company or any other company with 1 million share capital is 10,000 naira. But where the share capital exceeds 1 million naira, if you have, for every additional 1 million, if it is a private company, you are paying 5,000 naira. So you have to calculate the number of millions you will have as share capital. But for business names, the registration is also 10,000 naira for a business name. Okay. And for incorporated trustees, is 35,000 naira. That is beside the cost of publication. As the owner of the association, you are actually supposed to publish in 3 national newspapers the names of the trustees and the objectives for which the association is established. So that if any member of the public has reasons to believe that either of the trustees is not disqualified or the objects you intend to pursue are unlawful, then he can send an objection to the CAC. So these are the fees, and for business names and incorporated trustees, the names are not graduated because they don't have share capital. Right. For limited partnership and limited liability partnership, they also have fixed fees. But the interface for the registration of limited partnership and limited liability partnership is still under development. We hope that it will be available by the beginning of the second quarter of this year. Okay. Because there are new legal entity types that were not part of the formal.
Right.
All right, sir. So I wanted to take you back to the revalidation exercise. I know that there's a 3-month deadline. It's going to be expiring on the 1st of April. Now, what about customers, accredited customers who are not able to revalidate their accounts at the end?
Because what we require for the leadership is to ensure that you are still available, you are still qualified to practice, either as a lawyer, accountant, or chartered secretary, because you have to show us your last practicing fee receipt payment, you are called to bar, or evidence of admission as a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants, or a member of National Accountants of Nigeria, or as a chartered secretary, as well as your means of identification. Although moving forward, we intend to have integration with the National Identity Management Database, such that once you put your name and your NIN number, we don't even need to ask for means of identification. But for now, you have to submit a copy of your means of identification. The accreditation is done online, and what we intend to do is we'll give you the same accreditation details so that you continue your transactions. There won't be any separation from your old account and the new account. But you must revalidate. If you don't revalidate, the account will be blocked. You won't be able to transact until you submit yourself to this revalidation.
Right. Okay.
So we have questions for you on Twitter, sir. Richard Chukwu is asking whether you'll be able to print out your CAC certificate. There's a certified true copy after completing your application process online. And okay, for Andrew in Street Time, sorry, let me quickly take.
Yes, in fact, this is the major innovation we have introduced. In the past, certificates were either sent through courier companies, or before we close access to customers, they were coming here to pick up. The new system, all documents, not just certificates, everything, every transaction with CAC is done end-to-end electronically. We will send the documents, the certificates to you electronically. If you have an account on the portal, go to your dashboard, documents, your certificate, your certified extracts, as well as the memorandum and articles of association of the company, if it is a company. So you just print it, you may decide to save it or move it to your email account. You are free to do that. The certificate and the certified extract comes with a QR code. If you have a QR scanner on your phone, or anybody that is dealing with the company can validate the authenticity of these documents. This is a necessary safeguard to avoid cloning of some of these documents. So this is the new innovation, actually. And another major change is, unlike before, where when companies are registered, the various forms were certified and given to the owners, or any member of the public could apply to CAC and obtain certified copies of the forms containing signatures an actual date of birth of this director. We no longer allow that.
Okay.
We are protecting the personal information of the directors and the shareholders in the sense that any document that contains the signature, except for memorandum and articles that is issued to the company after incorporation, every other form, we return it. What we issue now is certified extract that gives you an overview of the company, that tells you when the company was registered, the name, the address, the date of registration, the names of the directors, and with the new requirement that companies must disclose beneficial owners, that is persons with significant control. The information about person with significant control is also contained in the report. So this is what we issue, and this is what we are going to be issuing moving forward. So the old practice of issuing CAC 7, CAC 2, all these things have been dispensed with. So for 5,000 naira, you can get a full report on the company containing all the detailed information about this entity. Right. So, but as I've said, for new registration, you don't pay for this certified extract.
Right. So there's another question.
And we also have that window on the portal. If you want to view the status of any company, you can see it free, you can see the address, the date of registration, and you can also see the beneficial owner, that person with significant control. That information is available free of charge. But if you want to see other information, view only, you have to pay 1,000 naira. It's there on the portal. You pay 1,000 naira. You can see all the details about the company as to the directors, the shareholders.
So let me get a few more questions for you online.
There's another very important one. He said, could you ask the CAC registrar the status of all post-incorporation filings that has been paid for and filed manually before the upgrade of the system?
Yes, those ones have been processed. Only yesterday, I directed that all post-incorporation must be approved and concluded before the end of this week.
Okay.
So we'll continue. We recognize the fact that companies have initiated transactions before this new system came into place. Some have already signed these documents. The manual system. So we'll continue to accept physical filings until the end of March. Okay. So any company that has any transaction that is dated earlier than 1st January can submit these documents to us and we'll process.
Great.
So when we process, update our information to reflect those changes.
Now, can I ask this question, sir? What can CAC do to reduce the amount of people who are actually scamming Nigerians who want to register? Because I know you've said the portal is available, but I know somebody who recently paid 140,000 naira to do a name change. I mean, is that proper? So how do we get out there to let people know this is how much it should cost to file a name, file a company, and even change your name? I mean, what can CAC do to sensitize Nigerians to know exactly what the figures are?
All the information, you see, the problem with most of us is most of the agencies you are dealing with, they have a website. And every information about these agencies is available on the website. All our fees are published on our website.
Wow.
Don't check. A professional can charge you for his service, but he has a duty to tell you the registration fee, the statutory fee you are paying for this transaction. If, depending on the standing of a lawyer of maybe 20 years standing or a senior advocate may even charge you 5 million to do change of name. It depends on the client. Whereas even where he's paying 10,000 naira to CAC, there are clients that can do that. But what we are saying is, as the owner of the business, you can do your changes directly. You don't have to go through any professional.
Yes. So
go and create an account on the portal. There is a window for you now to create a post-incorporation account. The requirements for the creation of post-incorporation account that will enable you to file your returns, to change your name, to change your directors, and do other transactions directly without having to go through anybody is there. So all you need to do is get the details on our website, go to CAC website, every information about our services and the fees we charge is available.
Bukola Ajibola on Twitter is saying that the post-incorporation portal is not yet working. It's not yet working. Can you confirm that?
It's working, but it cannot. If you are an accredited customer, log in using your account details, you will see all the available services on post-incorporation.
Okay, maybe she's not an accredited customer.
In fact, we are receiving applications for post-incorporation as I speak. We'll be receiving applications. We do review every evening. We review situation. Every evening by 6 we review situation.
Another question is that for revalidation to accredited users, is it free or does it come with a fee?
You have to pay a fee, a one-off fee. A one-off fee.
Okay.
One-off fee. So you have to pay, yes.
Okay. Well, Andrew in StarTimes is wondering why we are saying CAC. CAC is the Corporate Affairs Commission. Tell him what it is.
Okay, sir. You were able to surpass your projected revenue generation for 2020. Now, do you think with going digital now and being able to move all of the resources together, do you think you will do better into 2021? Just to know, sir.
Yeah, we are striving to do that. The challenge we have is the new law has come with some fee reduction, particularly on registration of charges. In fact, the fees on registration of charges for private companies were reduced by 65%, while for public companies the reduction was up to 165%. But what we hope this will bring is volume. And with the new system, it's easier to enforce compliance. So we're hoping that we'll have more transactions and we'll be able to surpass the revenue target for 2019, which was 18.3 million. We made more than that, and we're hoping that we can make up to 25 billion in this, so that we can give more money to the federal government.
Yes, we need it.
We need the money.
Yes. During the public debate, when the act was introduced, there was lots of controversy, especially with churches. I would like to know how this was handled, and if, yes, we'd like to have an update on how that was handled.
Yes, we tried. The major concern then was that maybe strangers may be appointed as interim managers when the trustees are suspended. We've tried to address these concerns in the regulations. We have stated the kind of person that can be appointed as interim managers in the event the trustees are suspended. And we've also made the regulation in a manner that you may not even have to suspend the trustees. You can direct them to correct some of their infractions. It's only those infractions that they may be suspended. So the regulation has clearly tried to address most of these concerns. But the law is the law. We intend to enforce it, but we'll enforce it in a manner that all stakeholders will be persuaded and all stakeholders will be carried along. But the important thing is people, organizations should act consistent with the law.
Right.
When you have an associate, whether religious or otherwise, it's not your private investment. It's a trust. So you must deal with it as a trust. So you should divulge the assets of this association from your own personal assets. That's what we are saying.
Okay. Unfortunately, we need to wrap up at this time. Thank you very much, Mr. Abubakar, for joining us. We always enjoy having you. We're going to do another review before the end of the year, because many people have complained to us, especially for schools. The Parents Teachers Associations, they complained about the accessibility to some of these documentations for these schools, but we'll come to that another time. Thank you for joining us. That's all we can take.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So let's go on a break.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
When we come back, we'll have more on the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.